Welcome back to episode 3 of the Benchwarmers Podcast. We are your hosts, Jacob,
Sam,
and Baden.
In today's episode, we're going to be going over a couple of different things. Starting off, we're going to go over our awards for the NBA and NFL seasons. So, Sam, you want to kick us off?
All right. So the way that this is going to work, we're each going to say our picks for the different awards, then we're going to discuss or probably argue because it's going to be a rough one. It's going to be a rough go.
Right.
So we're just going to start off by naming them. So my pick for NBA MVP is Nikola Jokic.
Yeah. Are we just going to start? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we're just going to name
my
him.
pick for MVP, right. Giannis.
Yeah, I think obviously, if we're picking it based off what's happened in the season so far, it's Curry, and there really is no debate.
Yeah,
but I think by the end of the season, I think Giannis will win his third MVP in 4 years.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be insane. But let me lay out my case for Nikola Jokic, because obviously, like what we're looking at in the season right now is it's very obviously going to be Durant or Curry if things keep on going the way they've been going. But Nikola Jokic is averaging 26, 14, and 6 on the greatest efficiency in the NBA ever. 35.4 PER, which is an advanced efficiency stat. The league average.
Is that the record? Is that the record?
Yes, 35.4 would be the record.
Giannis broke Wilt Chamberlain's record. I think not last year, but the year before.
35.4 would be the highest ever.
That's crazy.
The league average for efficiency, in case anybody was wondering, is 15. He's twice as efficient as an average player, and if that doesn't say MVP, I don't know what was. He's shooting 59% from the field, almost 40% from three, and the Nuggets are 9-5, which, top of my head, that's a 45 win team about. Probably a bunch more, maybe 50.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's probably what they're on pace for.
I think my biggest rebuttal of Jokic being the MVP, say whatever you want about his playing. Obviously, he's an MVP caliber player. Like, there's a debate there. But I don't think the NBA wants him as the face of their league. He is, he's known to have a hot temper. You saw the fight he had with
No, we're not talking about that as a Jokic hot temper moment. No, that's ridiculous. That's a bad take.
Yo, what is that, Jacob? All right,
that's a terrible take. Oh my God.
I do agree with him. I just don't think he has the storyline.
Yeah,
let's just be honest. When it comes to MVP voting, you need a good storyline to back it up.
You can't. It's impossible to dislike Giannis. Like, that's just not a thing. Jokic, he has a lot of haters.
Even Paul George has like a better storyline this season than I guess Jokic. But I don't care. I think Jokic he might not be the best player, but he is the most valuable player on this Nuggets team playing without Jamal Murray. Michael Porter Jr. does not look good at all. He is putting this team on his back. And I think that's the sign of a league MVP, in my opinion. I'm not ready to say that anybody left playing on this Nuggets team is better than Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah, I think that is the strongest argument for Jokic. He probably individually carries his team more than anyone else. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, the only player who comes as close is Giannis. But once Chris Middleton's back, that's
Chris Middleton made his return last night in the win against the Lakers. I thought. Yeah, he did.
I would say that if you go back and look at NBA history, every player who's won back-to-back MVPs, obviously they had a great year to win MVP. You have to have a great year to win MVP. They followed that up with an all-time great season. I know Jokic is having that PER rating, but I don't know if you're going to call this a top 10 to 15 season of all time.
So we're ready to call like Giannis's 2019-2020 season?
I would easily. Broke the PER. It broke the PER rating. It literally broke the PER rating.
Yes, and that's what this would do. So if we're putting that out as an argument, he would be the MVP.
I understand that, but hold on. Let me pull up 2019. You said 26, 14, and 6 is what Jokic is.
Yeah, 26, 14, and 6 on 40% from three.
How
many attempts is he taking this season? I'm very interested to see.
Yeah, Jokic's shooting is crazy. He can just beat a guy one-on-one, I think better than almost anyone in the league. Did you see the play he had a little bit ago where he like reached out two people, put the ball behind his back, and just went over the whole, maybe it was the Rockets roster, and just dunked on all of them? It was insane.
Oh my
I
god.
mean,
He's shooting like four to 5 attempts a game.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I can see where you're coming from. I mean, Giannis in his second MVP season averaged 30 or 29 and a half, 13 and a half, and 6 and 5.5.
Oh god. I'm sorry, Giannis. I did not remember you putting up 29 and a half. Please don't kill me.
Like, I mean, I think I understand where you're coming from, but I wouldn't consider the season Jokic is having something that I could probably see end up being the top 10 to 15 season of all time, which is kind of what you need if you want a chance to win back-to-back MVPs.
And that's understandable.
I get that.
All right, so let's move on to Rookie of the Year. So my bold take this year is, it's very outlandish, but I think we're going to have another one of the, Jason Kidd, Grant Hill, right? Co-Rookie of the Year situations. I think Scotty Barnes and Evan Mobley it's a two-horse race right now. I don't think that you can legitimately say that anybody besides them is a reasonable pick.
I think Mobley was running away with it until his injury. And it's going to be interesting to see how his injury factors into the overall voting.
Yeah, I don't think it's too bad because it's not like he's missing, a month or 2 months of playing time.
Just like 6 games. Maybe it's because it's 2 to 4 weeks, I think. 8 games.
I also want to talk about like those first two guards, because I think Mobley and Scotty Barnes, they're clearly the top 2 guys. But the first 2 guards taken off the board, Cade Cunningham and Jalen Green, I think they're at this moment, they're not. Yeah, I know Sam making his face. You guys can't see that. At this moment, they're not in the race at all. But I think the guard position is a very difficult position to adjust to in the league. And I think by the end of the year, there will be more talk about them in there.
See, but that's
go for it.
Okay, no, go on, Jacob. I'll talk.
Okay, I think forwards come into the NBA, big men come into the NBA more NBA ready than guards do. But once those guards catch up, their star power is something that the big men very often can't keep up with.
Actually, I was going to disagree because do we remember I don't know, there was a report that came out like a couple weeks ago that was like, they pulled a bunch of like rival GMs to the Cavs, and they were like, out of what players would you say is the best in 5 years? And they were like, it's Evan Mobley. So my thing is, I think that guards just have an advantage when it comes, because a lot of what they do can transfer easily from the college game to the NBA game in like it's scoring and passing. And I don't think that changes a lot, but like if you're a big in college, a lot of it is just that you're taller and you probably weigh more than a lot of the guys out there. And then you come to the NBA and there are like 5 other 7-footers on 3 different teams. And it's just tough to transition because you have to learn footwork and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I could see that. But I think we're on an agreement that Scotty Barnes and Evan Mobley are top 2.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't really think even the Cavs bias is what's making us say this. It's these two guys by a mile.
It's undisputed. Yeah, Scotty Barnes. Like if we're putting them right like back to back, Scotty Barnes is averaging 16 and 8. Evan Mobley is averaging 15 and 8. Scotty Barnes is on a 7 and 8 team. I wrote these notes yesterday, so I don't remember if they won their game last night. And Evan Mobley is like leading the league in blocks per game. He was legitimately a defensive team contender. I don't know if I want to say that, but he was so good defensively. Like if you watch any of the games, people are scared to like shoot over him because he just puts his hand up and he's in your face.
I think it's a long shot, but I don't think it's outlandish. Like, I think it could happen.
Him and Jared Allen both have a chance to make all defensive, probably second team, just because I think Rudy Gobert is gonna get first team like he always does. Yeah. But I definitely could see Mobley and Jared Allen being the front court of an all defensive second team.
Perfect transition into the next award. DPOY. My choice is Bam Adebayo. What are your guys's?
I need a second. I haven't decided yet, honestly.
So there's a couple guys I was thinking. I was thinking Draymond Green. He's had a very excellent defensive player of the year campaign. And Miles Turner was the other guy I was thinking about. I'm kind of split still between those two guys. I could always honestly, you can always say Rudy Gobert.
Rudy
He's
Gobert,
He's already won it 3 times, I believe. Like
Draymond Green could it's not so crazy to say Draymond Green could have a little bit of a bounce back year and be a dominant defender. You know, he's what, 30, 31? He's not like so far out of his prime that it's crazy.
Is he only 31? That feels weird. He feels old. Like Andre Iguodala old.
Yeah.
Because I think he did 4 years of college.
Yeah, that would.
And then he drafted in 2013.
Jesus, the guy looks ancient. He is not aged well.
Maybe 2012.
I think Draymond Green in his prime 3-4-ish years ago was one of the best defenders in the league. And with the way the Warriors are bouncing back this year, it's not crazy to say it could be Draymond Green.
That makes sense. I remember while I was doing the research for this section, that I was on StatMuse and it was like the Warriors had the best defense in the NBA, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, there's such a not to get onto the Warriors talk, but there's such a force this year. Draymond Green is anchoring that defense. But to get back to my person, the right choice, the true choice, Bam Adebayo, the Heat he himself is top 10 in defensive rating. I think he's 6 or 7. He's on one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. They're rated like 6th. He's putting up career best stats, like a little bit less assists, but he's averaging 20 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists. And I know that stats aren't really what decides a DPOY winner, but I don't think that you can discount like the fact that being on a good team and putting up pretty decent, those are great stats. Those are all-star stats.
Yeah.
Like, I think that doesn't take away from it at all.
I think he's kind of like a boring pick because he's the favorite by quite a sizable margin. Is he not the favorite? Is Rudy Gobert the favorite?
No.
Gobert's got
I was saying Bam Adebayo.
If you're talking about like betting odds, Rudy Gobert is probably the favorite.
Yeah, Rudy Gobert is.
He has a good reason for that.
Yeah,
and
he's
also
just
so
good.
On Sam's point, I think that is a good pick. I mean, right before like that game against the Nuggets, if the Jokic like Markieff Morris thing didn't happen, we'd be talking about how Jokic just cooked the favorite or one of the favorites for defensive player of the year, because that's the only game Bam looks poor defensively. I wouldn't say poor. It's just that great offense beats great defense, and Jokic.
Right now the odds are plus 300 for Rudy Gobert, plus 400 for Anthony Davis, plus 545 for Giannis, and plus 700 for Bam Adebayo. Draymond Green lies at plus 1,650.
I'm about to put down $100 on Draymond Green. I'm winning.
Draymond Green. I think I saw his stats. Like Draymond Green held Kevin Durant to like 0 points, 0 for 4 shooting in like a quarter against him.
Evan Mobley would have locked him down, but he wasn't on the court.
Draymond Green is way too low. But
I agree.
Anthony Davis at what, plus 400 is kind of surprising to me. But
I think I think it's just reputation for season. Like everybody has always seen him as one of the best defensive players in the NBA. So I feel like on a Lakers team that's gonna get more. Like I'm a big LeBron fan, but the Lakers team this year is kind of iffy. And I think, but just being on that Lakers team and having such a big market and like so much press, I think it's always gonna help.
Yeah.
Like boost your.
LA automatically being on an LA team automatically gives you a pretty big advantage for a lot of major things.
Big market.
All right, ready to move on?
Talking about a little bit of a smaller market, the 6th man of the year. Oh, what a segue. What a segue. Hold on. 6th man of the year. My vote is Dennis Schroeder. What about you guys?
Kev's bias here. I'm going to say Ricky Rubio. Although he doesn't really count anymore.
I was going to say
Sexton's
Ricky
out.
Yeah. If Colin Sexton doesn't get hurt, I would have picked Ricky Rubio.
Yeah.
But I'm going with the GOAT, Alex Caruso.
Yeah.
Alex Caruso definitely has a true argument for that. He's been great defensively. He's a big part of why the Bulls, their franchise, has turned around this year. And yeah.
Yeah, hold on. I want to see. You guys keep on talking because I just want to do a quick look up real quick.
I mean, so I want to go. So on Jacob's part for Ricky Rubio, I mean, I love it. I love the pick. I hope it just probably won't happen.
Yeah, I mean, Rubio was such a good move by the Cavs. I mean, was it a trade or was it a signing? I don't remember.
It was a trade. We traded Taurean Prince and like a second or something.
Yes,
like
Taurean Prince in the second, was it? It was. Ooh. Word.
But yeah, the Rubio move has turned out incredible for the Cavs. ESPN wrote an article about it this morning, so that you should check that out.
ESPN writing an article about the Cavs that's not about LeBron.
That's crazy. What? I mean, Rubio. I mean, it was going to come up a little. His name will come up a little later in one of our other segments, but yeah, but he's.
What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean? The MVP segment already passed.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. Oh, my bad. He's averaging like 15 points and 6 assists. Oh my God, he's just so fun to watch on the court because like you can tell he's just watching him on the court with all of these other like young Cavs, you can tell he's a veteran. Like the way that Darius Garland and the way that he takes it up at the court, and their play styles, I think they complement each other a lot. It's awesome. I love the Cavs. They're my favorite. But again, back to the really right pick, Dennis Schroeder. He's had insane games as of the past week. He's had 20 points in at least 4 out of the 6 games that he's played. The Bucks are a play-in team at the moment. I think they'll probably bounce back. They'll probably be a play-off team by the end of the season. And if you look at the last couple 6 Man of the Year winners, they're all on really good teams. Jordan Clarkson, Montrezl Harrell, Lou Williams. 2017, Eric Gordon, which is so weird to say because he was probably running point guard for that team with James Harden. Shooting guard, probably shooting guard. And I don't know. I think that it'll help his case. He had 38 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists in overtime against the Bucks. The Bucks, the defending champion Bucks. I rest my case. He's averaging 17, 4, and 5. He's my choice as of right now, 15, 16 games into the season.
Yeah. Solid pick. I agree.
And then Coach of the Year. That's right. I'm leaning into my Cavs bias. It should be J.B. Bickerstaff if the Cavs keep on. If we can get our players back and we have like a decent season, and if we make the play-in playoff, he should be a contender, but it's probably going to be Billy Donovan, coach for the Chicago Bulls. But you guys can name your choices now.
My coach of the year is Steve Kerr. It sounds weird.
I don't like that. I don't like that pick.
This man, Steve Kerr, has the Warriors as the best. They're the best team in basketball, and I think what he shows is that you don't need superstars to no. You all right? Sam's looking. I kind of
bro. You don't need
You don't need 3-4 superstars to win in that Warriors offense. You only probably need Curry. Everything else just works so well, and a big part of that is Steve Kerr. And I also want to give some props to Bob Myers, the general manager of the Warriors, because he's built that roster with players that fit the system. Even players that are pretty good, like Eric Pascal, that they've had in the past, he's just not a guy that fits the system well. And I think that this team it's a team that wins because of their system. I know, and Steph Curry is an amazing player. Yes, no discredit to him, but the system is the reason why they're 12-2.
I think it's hard for me to put Steve Kerr as the coach of the year because Curry was doing this last year. It's only legitimately, I feel like this is a jump from a play-in team to a playoff team. And obviously Curry, one of the greatest to ever do it. Like he's Like, I don't want to
The best
discredit what
point
he's
guard
doing
to
right
ever
now
be.
because he's historic. But I feel like you're giving Steve Kerr a little bit too much credit because we know Curry is this good. And we know that he has a good supporting cast around him. Like, it's not like he hasn't done this before. So I think they probably give it to somebody who's doing something new, i.e. Billy Donovan or JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah, I think so. Here, I kind of first of all, my pick is Billy Donovan, but I don't think I can say Kerr. I do agree with your take that the GM needs more credit, but it's not like Kerr is doing anything new. The Warriors have been good, and their roster is not a result of Kerr really, and like the way they're playing isn't. I think a result of Kerr, and for JB Bickerstaff, I don't know. I think maybe that could happen. But I think right now Billy Donovan's gonna run away with it.
Yeah. And then I just wanted to get my quick executive of the year pick out of the way. It's Arturas Karnisovas, who is the executive for the Chicago Bills. Chicago Bills, what?
Good one.
The Chicago Bulls. Sorry, the Lonzo Ball trade looks magnificent. The DeMar DeRozan trade. DeMar DeRozan was somebody who I want to mention as a dark horse in the MVP race.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. He is a dark horse.
But I just don't think I could put him in above. And he'll probably make an all NBA team this year if he keeps on playing like this because he's just playing out of his mind right now. The Lonzo Ball signing, obviously. The Nikola Vucevic trade doesn't look good, but that was last year. DeMar DeRozan looks really good. Ayo Dosunmu. Ooh, that was bad. Sorry, Ayo. But
yeah,
he's
gotta keep it with Ayo.
Yeah, Ayo. Ayo looks good as a bench contributor, and Alex Caruso, obviously. Alex Caruso GOAT.
If only they had Patrick Williams, man. I think he's out until like the playoffs.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough loss because he's such a good defender.
Pretty good. Executive of the year. I actually did not have this down.
I'm gonna be honest. I forgot this existed.
I mean,
it's okay. So we'll all unanimously agree that my pick is the right pick.
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. And then the last award, I believe, is the most.
Is there no? Oh, Jesus! I forgot about that one. Fuck.
Player.
Most improved.
I'm still stuck on this. I'm not gonna lie.
There's a couple. There's
give us your like top three or whatever you have down.
All right, so I have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It's not a crazy jump, but I still think he's a clear-cut all-star this year. I know the wins are not helping him so much, but I still think he should be in that running. My second player was Lonzo Ball.
Okay, that's a fair one.
He's just jumping year after year after year. We've clearly seen him improve. He's shooting now. When he was a rookie, very inefficient, just a minus offensive player. But now he's a plus on the offensive side when it comes to all facets of the game, and he's a great defender. And then my third player, a little bit of a smaller one. He's had spurts of why I think he could be up here, but the third player is Tyrese Maxey of the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, that's a good one. I like the Tyrese Maxey pick a lot.
He's had some spurts. I think last few games he's averaging like 25 or something like that. Tyrese Maxey was a big time steal for them. I really love that draft pick when it happened, and I think it's going to be a great pick moving forward.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm looking at the odds right now. Just in case anybody was wondering, right now it looks like Miles Bridges might be the favorite. Yeah, it's Miles Bridges right now, which I don't think is a bad pick. But personally, I think I'm gonna go. That's right. I'm selecting Cavs for 3 out of my 6 or 7 awards. I think Darius Garland or Jared Allen should be in serious contention for this award. Either one of the two. I don't remember exactly what Darius Garland is averaging right now. It's probably like 15 and 5. I mean, he was the worst starting guard in basketball just a couple years ago, and I think it's insane how much he's jumped up to lead this Cavs team. Jared Allen, he's Jared Allen. You know what you're going to get out of him. He's already like 14 and 10. He looks super, super good. He was been out with an illness for the past couple of games. Yeah.
I have two things. Also a Cavalier, Ricky Rubio. He looked very washed last year on the Timberwolves.
That's true.
And he has totally jumped back. I mean, look. 2017, 13 points a game, 13 points a game, 13 points a game. 8.6 in 2020, and now he's at 15. This is a career high, by the way. Ricky Rubio looks very improved. Also, Zoom just told me we don't have a lot of time left. They want me to upgrade to Pro. So we have about 8 minutes left in our meeting. I'm going to start working on an email to send you guys a new meeting link. And we will try to switch to that one seamlessly. But so just like talk for a couple minutes while I set this up. And it says like 8 minutes remaining right now. So we'll try to make this transition fast.
All right.
I'm multi-instancing Zoom.
Zoom's a wild thing. Sponsor us, Zoom. You should just upgrade us to premium for free, I think. But I don't know. Another man for most improved player is one that's going to have a lot of candidates simply because that's just kind of how the NBA works. Everybody develops. Like, I don't think that's I don't think that's stupid to say, but probably Tyler Hero probably wins this award. Hero. I don't like saying it because I don't like Tyler Hero, but he's wild. He is not my Tyler Hero. See what I did?
I don't think you can give it to Hero because
Zoom, dog.
It's not like
it's
not like he's having a huge improvement.
Jacob, hold on. We're not gonna stay away from that joke. That joke was abominably bad.
No,
please.
You
need to stop, Sam. Please.
No, please. This is the thing that keeps me saying. I had a couple more puns written out, and I'm just waiting for us to bring up some players. But I think we'll pass on them if this is the reaction I'm getting. Okay.
Oh, man. They better not. You can do them, but they better not be as bad as that one.
So my thing with Tyler Hero is like, I don't really see it as a huge improvement exactly. From
makes sense.
His bubble year. He balled out, and then he just kind of fell off, and now he's back a little bit.
You fell off. L plus ratio.
I don't see it as a huge improvement as much as I see it as like a, kind of just, regaining his form.
That makes sense, but I feel like if you're talking about Ricky Rubio, right?
That's true. Well, I mean, Ricky Rubio is putting up career
Rubio's
highs.
Rubio's never played this well in his life.
That's
yeah.
Tyler Hero played this well, so yeah. Does that wrap it up?
I think so.
I think that probably wraps it up. So, do we want to
actually? Do you guys want to? Yeah. We can
cut it here, and then we'll just.
Yeah, here. I'm gonna have to keep the recording running because putting together the clips is annoying. But we will be right back. So I'm gonna keep talking.
After a word from our sponsors.
Jacob, you have to make up a sponsor now.
All right. So I'm gonna end the meeting. I will keep talking while I set up the new thing.
Well, I guess during this break, you guys can follow us on Twitter.
Yo, that's so true. Follow us on Twitter. We do have a Twitter account now.
At Benchwarmers 216. It will also be in the link in the description.
Also, it's wild how many people watch our videos and yet how few of you guys are subscribed.
I know. Like, we had 80 something views first video and 50 this last video. Subscribe.
Subscribe.
This is where you put up that image that says people subscribed, people not subscribed.
Yeah, hold on, guys. Did you know that if you subscribe, you will legally become LeBron James?
Yes, that is.
I don't make the rules, but this is a rule.
And you get all his money.
That's true.
He just became a billionaire about a couple months ago, so.
Yeah, I mean, so hey, if you want to become a billionaire, like and subscribe and follow us on Twitter. Twitter's so great, man. I was looking at the NBA, some NBA Twitter earlier, and some Rockets fans are talking some absolute trash when they're 1-14.
I saw a tweet. The Rockets are on pace for the worst record in NBA history. They're on pace for a record of 5-77.
That's like worse than Charlotte Bobcats Kemba Walker.
Yeah. And they're playing in 16 less games. And they're going to still have less wins. That's wild.
Yeah.
All right, let's leave then and then go to the new meeting. Jacob,
we will be right back. Viewers, give 2 minutes. See you shortly.
Hi guys, we're back with even more drip now. Hold on, I can't hear you. 1 second.
Ooh, the Cavs hat.
That's my bad.
Hold on.
We are back.
Hold on.
Zoom, come on, guys. We need the time. The last 2 times they actually told me, you guys better like us so much because we actually extended your meeting. They've stopped doing that.
Well, guess what, Zoom? We don't like you anymore.
We might have to switch over. Microsoft Teams, that's an option.
Yeah, probably Discord.
Go back to the OG, Skype.
Skype! All right, when Baden gets back, we will start our NFL award segment, but I'm just going to... Oh, yeah. Oh, Baden, I have the matching Cavs hats.
How to get the hat. I saw. You guys can't see it, but Sam and I both had the 2016 Cavs championship hat on. Reminiscing the good old days.
But it's okay. We'll be back this year. Call us 2022.
Factual.
It's okay. I'll get my hat after the season.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Jacob. Anyway, on to the NFL awards. I won't start this. Jacob, I think you want to start us off?
Sure. So I'm pretty passionate about this one. So let's start it off with the big one. MVP. You got a few guys who are very clearly ahead of the rest of the field. I'm just going to list a couple. You tell me if there's any you want me to add on. I think it's pretty clear. Matthew Stafford, Kyler Murray, Tom Brady. And that's it.
Lamar Jackson. Where's Lamar Jackson? What are we doing?
I don't think Lamar is...
You're ridiculous.
I think Lamar is tier 2. And tier 2 is like Lamar, Josh Allen, other elite AFC QBs, stuff like that. I don't think Lamar's tier 1.
Baden, what's your pick? Then I'm going to rip into Jacob. Baden, your mic isn't working.
Yeah, Baden, we can't hear you. All right, actually, while Baden's trying to figure out his mic, I would like to rescind my Lamar Jackson take. Looking back on it, 30 seconds ago, Lamar Jackson is definitely very valuable to his team and more valuable. Like, he's a bigger percentage of his team.
You guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, silky smooth voice. ASMR all the time.
I'm not going to even comment on that. I despise ASMR. It's so awful. But anyways, Dak Prescott is the league MVP.
What?
I know
trash.
some people aren't gonna agree with me on that.
I have Dak as an award winner, not this award.
Yeah, same. I think Jacob and I both have him as the same
We all
award.
have him for the same award, but I think he has. I think Stafford the last couple of weeks, he's still top 3, but we've clearly seen him just play pretty poorly the last few. I just think Dak Prescott has the case to be MVP. And the storyline works well too. I know in the NFL, the storyline doesn't matter as much as the NBA. Coming off a severe ankle injury, he's on the most valuable team in all of sports in the entire world.
You just described why Dak Prescott should win Comeback Player of the Year.
Yeah, I you just made our argument for us.
I understand that, but I also think he's played at an MVP caliber level. On top of that,
I agree.
I don't know. I appreciate Jacob for sending his Lamar Jackson comments. I'm a Browns and a Jets fan. This stings to say, but Lamar Jackson is doing unprecedented things. Like, obviously, he did unprecedented things the first time around, and he did them last year just at a little bit of a lower level. But it's just like what I was talking about with Nikola Jokic. I guess this is this theme you're going to see. These two people, Nikola Jokic and Lamar Jackson, are carrying their offense. They let the Ravens have Devontae Freeman at running back right now. When was the last time Devontae Freeman was in the league? 2019 on that Falcons team?
He was the Giants running back last year.
He was the Giants running back last year. The last time he was good was 2017, really.
Yeah,
so Falcons, I feel like
right? that was elite.
The 28-3 year.
But and his overall best weapon, I guess, is Mark Andrews, followed by Hollywood Brown. I mean, unreal what he's doing. He's 6-3. He's 6-3. The Ravens are playoff contenders. He has 639 yards rushing, which means based on yards per game, he's on pace for 1,207 yards, which is more than his MVP season by exactly 1.
That's pretty cool.
Right. I feel like if there's ever a time that he's going to win it, it's this year, because I feel like the MVP race is still super up in the air, because I don't think anybody's really separated themselves yet. And I think that's probably the real discussion that we need to be having, but I just want to talk about how good Lamar Jackson is.
Yeah, I think Lamar is valuable. I don't know. He's still not my MVP front runner, but I agree that I realized that my initial take was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, you're going to put Lamar Jackson on Josh Allen's tier. Wild.
Jacob, who is your MVP?
Yeah, who's your eye? Like, who would you pick right now? I don't want to hear a tier.
Okay, so if it wasn't for his very poor performance against the Titans, it would be Matt Stafford at the moment. Kyler Murray, also up there, hasn't played the last 2 weeks, which hurts this case. But I don't know. I still feel okay saying that my pick is Matthew Stafford, because I think he'll bounce back. But I could see Lamar getting it. I think Kyler needs to really pick it up in the second half of the year, because he was struggling a little bit even before his injury. As a Kyler Murray fantasy owner, I fully recognize that. But yeah, Kyler needs to step it up. If the season ended today, it's still Matthew Stafford.
I want to talk about my fantasy team.
I want to say something real quick. Very massive dark horse. He will not win the MVP. But this man,
Ryan Tannehill. No.
Okay. This man,
good pick though. I like that one.
He's like climbing up there slowly each week. That man is Jonathan Taylor. Very massive dark horse. Very massive dark horse.
He's actually a pretty
the only
guy.
running back who will ever win MVP in the next 10 years. It will only ever be either Nick Chubb or Derrick Henry, and I will stand by this take forever.
That's fair. I'm not like I said. I'm not saying he will win the award. He won't. It's just at this point it's impossible. He would have to go for 200 yards the next few games to even be considered. But he's having an amazing season. in this last stretch of games he's played has been unreal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's fair.
Jonathan
He is
Taylor
very,
has
very
been-
good.
at least I think at this moment he's probably all-pro first team running back at least.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Because Derrick Henry on his broken foot can't do that. And I think right now it's Taylor on S tier, Chubb on A tier, and then everyone else.
I think this has been a pretty weak running back year overall.
It really
I mean,
has.
Derrick Henry would have
Other than Henry.
if he never got hurt. He would have broke records. Like Jonathan Taylor is exactly tied with Derrick Henry in rushing yards right now. Playing 3 more games or 3 and Henry played 3 less games.
2.5. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
He would have broke records with an extra game too. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Just offensive player of the year. I feel like this one's pretty unanimous. It should be Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp, undisputed. He's
also,
averaging a. Oh yeah, continue.
The only person who's this competition is Jonathan Taylor.
That's true. But Cooper Kupp is averaging 114 receiving yards a game, 10 touchdowns already, which is his second best season ever.
114's got to be top 5 all time.
That's insane. With a couple of insane games. Right now he's on pace for 1937.
That's the second
I
most.
think. That's the second most ever. So if he has 2 games where he puts up 150, he goes for 2,000 yards. And that should put him in the MVP conversation, absolutely. But the Rams are 7-3. He's right now the only pick you should have for Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah,
is he a legit contender to break the receiving yards record?
Yes.
He's gonna have to go crazy. He was actually tied, I think, a few weeks. He was on pace to exactly tie Calvin Johnson's record of 1964. So
Debo was actually ahead of his pace until last week.
He was?
Yeah, because he had his bye week already.
Oh. I mean, Debo's a dark horse for that award, but it's cool. It's and everybody else.
Woods' injury is just an even bigger boost. OBJ and Van Jefferson combined are not going to fill the Robert Woods role. Yeah. Tyler Higbee is unbelievably mid.
Yes, bro. I going back to that fantasy we're talking about. I am a Tyler Higbee fantasy owner. I was thinking this guy is going to get tons of red zone targets on one of the most explosive offenses in football, and he'd go crazy. Nope. Luckily, I have Darren Waller and Mark Andrews, which is about as good as a tight end duo.
Oh, it must be nice to have a non-injured fantasy team. Right now, my running backs are Ramondre Stevenson and Latavius Murray. On my bench, I have Darrell Henderson, bye. Aaron Jones, injured. Derrick Henry, injured. Kareem Hunt, injured. What am I supposed to do? Melvin Gordon, bye. Yo. Yeah. Anyway, but we're
don't you guys play each other, Jacob and Sam? Don't you guys play each other this week?
He's projected to beat me by 30.
And I have a tough decision tonight, actually, whether to start Damian Harris or the injured he's a game time decision, Cordero Patterson. But anyway, moving on.
Let's go on to DPOY.
Yes.
Yeah. DPOY.
So I want to go first.
All right.
Myles Garrett. I don't have much more to say. TJ Watt scares me, and here's why TJ Watt scares me. TJ Watt has half a sack less, and you could say it's just been one game because of his bye. TJ Watt missed a game and a half. TJ Watt has played 2.5 fewer games than Myles Garrett, and it's half a sack less. So the Browns fan in me wants to say Myles Garrett just through pure what my eyes are seeing. But considering the games TJ Watt's missed, it's 50-50 for me.
So I wouldn't. All right. Sacks don't. I want to say sacks don't mean everything. Trey Hendrickson had 13 sacks last year. They were a pretty unimpressive 13 sacks. I'm not gonna lie. It's still very good, but for someone who put up 13 sacks, he didn't show a pressure rate, which I think is more important than someone who else had 13 sacks or something like that last year.
Who led the NFL in sacks last year? Was it Donald?
No, it wasn't Donald.
It wasn't Donald?
I don't think it was Donald. I think Man, who did lead the league in sacks? Was it TJ Watt? CJ Watt, I think, got like 17 and a half.
It was. Oh, hold on.
I think it was TJ Watt who led the league in sacks.
It was Miles. No, Miles.
couldn't-
That seems wrong. No, that's wrong. Sorry. One
That-
second.
No,
might
it
be-
was TJ Watt. It was TJ Watt.
Yeah, 15 sacks.
It was
15,
Watt
yeah.
and then Donald and Hendrickson both had 13 and a half. Then Zadarius Smith, Hassan Reddick, Garrett, Leonard Williams, Stephon Tuitt, Leonard Floyd.
Yeah. So I don't think sacks mean everything. So you look at more of the advanced stuff. Myles Garrett is just a better player than TJ Watt as a pass rusher.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a passer.
Myles
as-
Garrett right
as-
now is on pace for 20 sacks. He leads the league in tackles for loss and sacks, and he anchors a top 10 run defense. I think it's very hard to like argue against that,
Mhm.
just from like a pure stats
And-
perspective.
And then I got to bring him up to Trayvon Diggs. 8 interceptions in 9 games. I know there's also the fact that he doesn't.
He gets
gives up-
burned every single time he doesn't have an interception.
That's kind of true, but I think the good outweighs the bad. That type of production is absurd for a full season, and he's done it in a half a season. So
That's
I'm
true.
not saying he's probably second place for me, him or TJ Watt. But
He reminds me of like a much better J.R. Smith if I'm trying to compare him to like NBA terms. Like when JR's on, he's on and he'll score like 30 on 10 3-pointers. But when he's off, he's going to go like 0 for 16. And that feels very Trevon
we
Diggs.
know all about 0 for 16.
When did Trayvon-
stop!
Oh, man.
He didn't have to say it.
You said it, dog. You said 0 for 16. Ah, man. The battle.
All right, let's move on to offensive rookie of the year. That put me in a bad mood.
Okay,
I'm
so
pissed now.
it's Jamar Chase, and the second place is Najee Harris. I don't
I'd
think
say
there's
it's
much debate.
Jamar Chase, and then second place is Kyle Pitts.
That's so crazy how the 2 best offensive rookies are in our division.
I
Like,
don't think that it's Najee Harris. I truly don't. I think Kyle Pitts is so much better. He's on pace for 1,000+ yards. He has a much worse QB than Jamar Chase. I'm not.
I
like,
thought you
no.
were much worse QB than Najee Harris.
Big Ben and
Ben
like
sucks.
Matty Ice remind me of like the same person right now. And then he's third in tight end receiving yards, only behind.
Did you just say Matt Ryan and Ben
Matt Ryan and
Roethlisberger?
Big Ben on the same level?
No,
Matt
they
Ryan-
reminded me of the same.
I don't know, man. Matt Ryan is miles better. He's not crazy.
Yeah, that makes
He's not
sense.
He's
By
not
the
like
way,
top
this
10.
is just like something I'm gonna throw out there. Matt Ryan needs a lot more respect. He's been one of the most
Yes.
consistent quarterbacks in the NFL his entire career. Like Falcons fans who wanted to replace him this year, shame on you.
Well,
Matt
he
Ryan
is
is-
30. I mean, this,
He's
I
not
don't
slowing
want
down.
I don't want to get too off topic, but Matt Ryan is 36 years old on a rebuilding team, and we just went through an all-time great quarterback draft class. It wouldn't have hurt if they picked, Justin Fields at 4.
At 4,
But
at 4 is a really bad spot to pick a new QB because it shows how little confidence you have in your current QB. Just like the 49ers situation.
he's 36. Like the one.
And he's getting paid, but
I
he's
mean,
getting paid $40 million, so it makes sense.
Getting
Like you don't
paid
want to have.
so much money, and you have the opportunity. I just think it was there for the taking, and the Falcons were not a team to me that I believed would be in that position to pick that high again, and they're not. They're 4-5. They already have as many wins as they did last year. They're not going to be in the position, although
the
it
thing
is a weak
like
class. They're not going to be in the position to take a Matt Corral or a Malik Willis unless they were to trade up, which they possibly could with the assets they got from the Julio Jones trade.
I think a QB wasn't a need. Matt Ryan isn't a bad quarterback, and there were a lot of things they needed more.
He is the definition of mid, I
Yeah.
would say.
No, that's
He's
Kirk
in
Cousins.
that
Kirk
in that
Cousins is the
15 to
definition.
20 range of quarterbacks.
I think Matt
and he's
Ryan.
perfectly okay.
Matt Ryan is probably a bit higher than 15 to 20. He might be 12 to 15, but
Ooh, hot
All right,
spicy
so
take.
I think we should kind of move on from this.
Yeah, because
let's-
it's
I just think
dragging a little.
I think
That might be
Pitts,
the
Pitts, I think
draft
is gonna have a great
episode.
career once he gets into it. I think next season he'll come out and be the number 1 fantasy tight end. But this year, I don't think he's the offensive rookie of the year. I just think
Yeah, you're
Najee's.
right. I just wanted to talk
Yeah.
about him. I love Kyle Pitts.
I like Kyle
All
Pitts
right.
too. I
Yeah,
gave
I
up
think-
basically George Kittle for him.
So
yeah.
I didn't get to say my pick yet, but
Oh yeah, my bad. Sorry.
I do,
Is it just?
I do agree that it's Jamar Chase, but hey, offensive linemen deserve love. 'Cause
That's true.
It would be Creed Humphrey by a mile. He's been spectacular.
Rashawn Slater's been good too.
I think Creed
Alright.
Humphrey is like a 90 PFF grade right now.
Jesus.
When was he
all right,
drafted?
so
What round?
Second round.
nice.
That's a good pick by the Chiefs.
Back end of the second.
All right,
That's-
defensive rookie of the year. I feel like I'm just gonna be boring. I'm saying it's Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons is the front runner.
It's just hard to not pick him.
The Browns have. Yeah, go for it.
I think JOK was on that track before he got hurt.
Yeah.
He's not playing as much anyways now off the injury. So I think it's gonna be hard for him to win it. Asante Samuel was a guy earlier in the year who had some who definitely had the potential to win it. I don't know if he wins it now. Micah Parsons seems like the boring pick, but it's really the only pick that truly makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Browns have 2 players in the top 5, but I don't think either will win it. Greg Newsome has been great.
Yeah.
All the rookie corners have been great. There hasn't been one who's been a bust.
Yeah, all the first
Caleb,
round corner.
is Caleb Farley playing? Or
Oh,
is he still hurt?
Caleb Farley tore his ACL.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, Farley.
Patrick Surtain's been great. Newsome's been great. J.C. Horn and both of those 2 are hurt. And then Asante Samuel's been good. And,
Farley was playing decent, and then Horn was playing great
Mm-hmm.
before his injury.
JC
So,
Horn was just such a
this
good-
is a great corner class. People
Yeah,
are going to look on this corner class in 5 years and say, wow.
There's 5 top 20 corners in this from that class. I
Yeah.
could very well see that. Maybe 4. I don't know about Caleb
Hot.
Farley. Caleb
Right.
Farley might be the next version of Jason Verrett. When he's on the field, he's great,
He
but he
feels
not
very
on the field
Jason
enough.
Verrett-esque.
That was my player comp for him going in the draft. It was Jason Verrett because
What
of his
Virginia? He came out of Virginia Tech, right?
Virginia Tech, and this is a guy that didn't play corner until he got to Virginia Tech. He's very new to the position and is already really technically sound. But yeah, the injuries just hurt.
Yeah.
It wasn't a
All right.
great defensive class to begin with, so I'm not
Mhm.
surprised there's not a lot of options for this pick.
Yeah, the first defensive player to be picked was Patrick Surtain at 9.
No, Caleb Farley at
J.C.
8.
Horn-
Oh, my bad.
J.C. Horn.
I meant J.C. Horn at 8.
Caleb Farley went back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Micah Parsons, just to wrap it up, 6 sacks, 44 solo tackles. Wow. I
He's
mean,
been
those,
They
Really
use him
good
everywhere in the front 7, so
which is what we expected. Like, this is like he's a tool player. Comeback player of the year, undisputed. It's Dak.
Yeah.
We should just
There's
move
no
on. We
debate.
should just
The
move
only
on.
player even in the range is Joe Burrow. But it's Dak by
That's
a mile.
literally yeah.
It's literally it. We
It's
should
just Dak.
move on.
And then so
Can we
coach
spend,
of
like-
the year, I think.
Can we spend like a minute on comeback player of the year?
Oh yeah, sure.
Next year. Because really the
Ooh.
good debate is next year.
Next year,
You got
Ooh.
Cam Akers, J.K. Dobbins. Who else? Robert
Marcus
Woods.
Peters, maybe
What?
Marcus Peters, maybe.
Next year is going to be a really good one. This year, Dak
know,
ran away with it, but next year's going to
I
be
mean,
good.
Dak ran away with it. I was hoping. My prediction before the year, I believe, was Saquon Barkley, but he got hurt again. But yeah.
All right, ready for coach?
Coach of the year.
Yeah. All right. So this is actually a really interesting one because I feel like this NFL season has been super, just kind of cool. I like this NFL season a lot. It's been
Mhm.
neat. My vote is Brandon Staley, coach of the Chargers. Chargers are in the playoff conversation. I don't know if they lead the whatever their division,
do.
Chiefs lead, but I think that with the season that Justin Herbert's been having and the way that they've improved so much, I think that he should be in the conversation, absolutely. But I'm willing to be swayed.
Shout out to
my-
Brandon Staley, graduated from John Carroll University, by the way.
Woo!
Or no, never mind. Did not graduate. He was a coach there. For,
Yeah,
for 3 years.
Hey, we'll still give a round of applause. My coach of the year is Cliff Kingsbury.
Makes
I thought
sense.
he was a bottom 3 coach, not bottom 5, bottom 3 coach in the NFL these last couple of years. And we've clearly seen that this team has massively improved. Now, yes, the talent on the team warrants their record, but Cliff Kingsbury himself, if there was a most improved coach award, Cliff Kingsbury wins it, and it's not close. He's clearly improved as a coach, and yeah, he's my coach of the year.
I want to hear what you guys think of my take.
What? Who was your take again?
I haven't said it yet. I think I'm gonna get an interesting reaction for this one. This coach used to have a really great team. His team went.
Are you saying Bill Belichick? Don't say it.
The Bill Belichick is the coach of the year.
Belichick. I knew it from the second. I literally, when you said I want to hear what you guys think about this take, I was thinking Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I don't
Belichick,
like it.
Belichick just coached this team from mediocrity to top 10. I mean, like, Belichick's influence is absurd.
Are the Patriots top 10 team?
Yes.
I don't want to talk about the Patriots. I have
a whole rant about the Browns.
That'll be another that's a thing for another time. We'll see how they do this Sunday. I think Belichick is an interesting case. I still think Mac Jones is I don't think he's a good quarterback. I think he is the definition of a system QB.
He is the definition of mid. Like, if we're talking about Mac, and I know some people are thinking, oh, you guys are Browns fan, you guys are salty that you lost. Well, go back and look at that game. He was dinking and dunking the entire game. He had probably 2 or 3 passes that really impressed me. Although one was more about the receiver and that Kendrick Bourne touchdown.
Oh, yeah, that Kendrick Bourne touchdown.
That was more on great catch by the receiver than great throw.
It took balls to throw that, though. I mean, that was an incredible throw.
But Mac Jones, to me, like, this is kind of what I expected. I think Mac Jones was one of the more elite, was probably after Trevor Lawrence, the next guy who was most league ready. But he wouldn't get much better. Like, I think Zach Wilson and Trey Lance all have the potential to be stars. Well, I think Mac Jones is going to be a solid quarterback from you from the moment he gets in to the moment he gets out.
I said this so much. Jacob, I know I talked to this about a ton. He played with one of the best offenses in college football in recent memory. Like, that was filled with first and second round picks, and he just came in and he inherited. Like, it's not like he did anything groundbreaking. It's very frustrating to me that he was taken there. But you know what? If it works, it works. I hate that the Patriots are playing well.
The league is quarterback run, so teams are gonna reach for quarterback, and I mean, I expect it to happen this year too. In an even weaker QB class, guys that honestly, like, maybe even like Sam Howell, who I thought was QB1, number 1 overall pick going into the year. He's been super disappointing. I would take Mac Jones over him as a prospect, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sam Howell goes top 15.
All right,
quarterback.
So, because this podcast is dragging a little long, I will get through the Benchwarmers segment super quickly, and then we can move on to trivia. All right. So, Larry Nance, just quickly, I'm wearing his shirt right now, his jersey right now. Larry Nance Jr. on the Portland Trailblazers, 16 points, 3 steals, and 2 key free throws with 12 seconds left to ice the win over the Bulls. Probably his last appearance on the Benchwarmers segment for a while. 2-time, I think, 2 or 3-time Benchwarmer of the week. Ricky Rubio, Benchwarmer no longer. Thank you.
Thank you for your service,
points.
Ricky.
Yeah, 25 points and 5 assists against Brooklyn. 28 points and 6 rebounds against Boston. 16 points and 7 assists in our win against Boston again, and he's a key part of this injured Cavs team. We'll see him start a lot until brighter days. Ricky Rubio.
I guess I have one more Benchwarmer. That's the recently the newest member of the Carolina Panthers, Cam Newton, 2 touchdowns and his
Welcome back,
first
Cam.
2 plays as a Carolina Panther.
It's good to
Cam
see.
Newton is the third benchwarmer of the week for us.
Beautiful. And then we're going to do a quick, we're only going to do one piece of trivia for each of them. So let me find this one.
I had a bench warmer. That one.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah,
go for it.
So this one's not shocking. I actually predicted this in the last podcast. But D'Ernest Johnson. Browns did bad. He was the only bright spot. 19 carries, 99 yards, so very close to that 100 mark, which I said he was going to hit. So I was 1 yard off, but whatever. Caught 7 passes for 58 yards, so he was actually the leading receiver. Johnson had a great game, and he looked good. He should.
Yeah.
If the Browns don't keep him, because we're so loaded on running back talent, he needs a shot somewhere else. I mean, he has never had a bad game.
He's not. I think. Yeah, he's not going to be here next year. I think he's going to be a starter or an RB2 somewhere else.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ready for
your
trivia?
Service. Yeah. All right. So okay. Which Browns QB held the NFL record for most consecutive completed passes without an interception until December 26th, my sister's birthday, 2010, when Tom Brady set a new record? The 4 choices are Brady Quinn, Bernie Kosar, Mike Phipps, and Otto Graham.
I'm pretty sure I know this one. I think it's Bernie Kosar.
I'm pretty sure it's I was going to say Kosar.
Well, I'm going to be unique. I'm going to be unique because I'm cool like that. I'm going to say it's Otto Graham.
Okay.
It is not Brady Quinn. It is Bernie Kosar. Dang it.
Yeah.
That actually leaves us all tied up, I believe, with 3 each. Mark that up. And then, of course, our bit of Cleveland Cavaliers trivia is which player has the highest single season free throw percentage in team history? Mark Price, Kyrie Irving, Terrell Brandon, or Mo Williams, who Jetty Osman just passed for 9th on the Cavs all-time three-pointers made.
There's no way it's not Mark Price.
Yes, I am almost confident it's Mark Price.
I want to be different. I'm going to say, who's the third guy you said?
Terrell Brandon or Kyrie?
I'm going to go with him. I'm going to go with Terrell Brandon.
Terrell Brandon. It is, let's see. It is Mark Price. Oh my God. 94.8% from the free throw line.
That's crazy.
Holy cow. So that's
all-time great free throw shooters.
So right now the score is 4 for me, 4 for Baden, sorry, and 3 for Jacob.
I would just like to say, I thought it was Mark Price. I just wanted to be different.
Sure, Jacob. You just wanted to be different. Want to be different. All right. You want to send us out then, Jacob?
Quick.
Okay, go for it.
There's Thursday night football predictions. Just give us a score. Patriots, Falcons.
Falcons 31-28.
28-3 at half. Patriots come back and win it.
Patriots 31-24. Ramondre Stevenson with 3 touchdowns.
Please God, I need that man to pop off. All right, send us out, Jacob.
All right, thank you guys for watching the 3rd episode of the Benchwarmers Podcast. It's been great, all the feedback and support we've gotten recently, and we will see you in the next one. Peace out.